Rasty McGibbon with Eric Mabie, Florida Gulf Coast. First game, monkeys off your back.
Yep.
How long has it been since you guys been on the ice?
We haven't played a game in 6 weeks. This one's a tough one every year.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great being able to pass through regionals, but it's tough taking that time off.
You know, I was talking to one of the players from Northeastern, and they said this is the first time that they had to go through regionals since 2019, and they said they felt that it actually worked in their favor because they got some in. How do you stay fresh for 6 weeks?
It's tough. So we spent the first 3 to 4 weeks strictly focusing on battling, keeping our energy up. I felt that we had a lot of systematic things that we wanted to work on, but I felt that 6 weeks was too soon to start doing those things. So it was a lot of team building things on the ice, off the ice, all the above. And those last 2 weeks that we really tried to hone in our game, the things that we do well, and that's what we focus on. We try to focus on what we do well and really execute those to the best of our ability.
Tell me some of the things you liked out of your guys tonight that you thought you did well.
I liked our commitment to playing down low and playing on the yellow. We talk a lot about being able to play on the walls and not trying to force plays. We feel that we're a highly skilled team, but when we're at our best, we're playing a gritty, grimy game that has a lot of simplicity to it, and we want to be predictable within ourselves. So I was really happy with our commitment to doing those things, especially after not playing for 6 weeks and playing a really tough Maryville team that gave us a lot to handle. So like you were mentioning about regionals, they played regionals, won 2 really tough games there, and being able to match that and hold on to a game that we really needed was a really good sign for us.
You know, you and I have both been D2 guys for such a long time. I'm a huge proponent of pool play because it does allow for mistakes. Do you still love it as much as you always have? You know, especially coming off 6 weeks, sometimes it's hard to get the rust off. Gives you a little bit of cushion that you don't want to have to use unless you have to. But what are your thoughts?
Pool play is great. I think there is that room for a loss in a way, but once you do that, then everything's out of your hands and you're asking for help from other teams, and that's the scary part, right? You want to keep control of what you can control, and we got to play to win every game. But pool play as a whole, I think it creates a lot of drama, and it creates a lot of good buzz around the rink, and you know, you're going back and forth from game to game, and being able to have that as a men's Division II component, I think it differentiates it from a couple other divisions, and I think you see a lot of different competition. I mean, the last few years, there's been some upsets, and different teams come out of different pools, and even last year, an Indiana team goes on a run and ends up winning a national championship, and they were a team that lost a game, I believe, in pool play, and were able to advance. So it leaves that room for error, and then you never know what can happen at the end. So it's a pretty special thing.
Talk to me just a little bit about culture at Florida Gulf Coast. You guys are perennials at the national championship. You've won national championships, and you know hockey in South Florida is alive and well.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that you feel you have propagated on from Bob and taking over the team and make you guys successful and involved in every year?
I think it draws back to 2 things, and really 2 people, Bob Brinkworth and Matt Maida, who started this thing almost 20 years ago now and created a winning culture pretty early, so that when guys do come in, you know, we tend to get a lot of NCAA transfers, a lot of kids coming out of junior leagues that have other opportunities, but they want to come down and be a part of a winning culture. And when we say the word culture, it means a lot of different things, right? It means how you present yourself off the ice, how you are in the classroom, how you're competing in situations and games where maybe things aren't going your way. And I think for the most part, our bench stays right most of the time. And we talk about that a lot, is keeping the bench right. And that starts in the locker room, out to the bench, pre-game, post-game. And we do feel like there's some pressure that comes with putting on that FGCU jersey, but at the same time, when you have pressure, it's definitely a privilege to be able to be in that moment where you're expected to win and expected to compete. And with culture, with our program, it starts from our leadership group, I think. I mean, as a coaching staff, myself, Spence Fantine, and Justin Goldman definitely take the time to try to instill those values in our guys. But at the end of the day, when our team's firing at its best, it's the players taking over. It's a player's room, and they really handle themselves well.
Some of the players I've talked to in the past, you know, they say that playing at Florida Gulf Coast with the culture you've established is fantastic.
Yeah.
But when prospective players come to visit, it sells itself.
It does.
Yeah.
I mean,
Is there a beach on campus?
There's a beach on campus. Yeah, the guys
can
live.
get over that. Yeah.
It's wild. The guys have the opportunity to live on the beach if they want. Most of our guys are off campus, but even being off campus, you know, the apartment complexes have resort-style pools, 15 minutes from some of the nicest beaches in Florida, and just in general, it's a great place to go to school. The university is fantastic, and we're lucky to be there.
Yeah. Well, hey, congratulations. Getting the monkey off your back. Yep. First win tonight. Want to wish you the best of luck the rest of the tournament.
Thanks, Rasty.
Congratulations on recent engagement, okay?
Thanks, I
Eric
appreciate
Mabie,
it.
one of my favorites. Round 1, 2025 National Championship, St. Louis.